is filled with inequality. There's racial, health, gender, education, and of course, economic inequality. Most people are against every form of inequality. However, not every form of inequality is necessarily bad. There's no question that economic inequality is real, but there is a disagreement as to whether income inequality is a problem and what should be done about it.
Simply put, some people are rich and some people are poor, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. We argue that economic inequality is not as damaging as many people believe it to be. In fact, we believe that there are many reasons why economic inequality is in fact beneficial for our society.
One of the main reasons why inequality isn't always bad is that it's the biggest supply of hope in many developing countries. Sounds strange, right? It may come as a surprise, but sometimes people in more unequal societies are happier. Pinker states that unequal societies such as Hong Kong and Singapore are substantially happier than equal countries like Russia. This year, Singapore is ranked 34th on the World's Happiness Report, while Russia was ranked a mere 68th.
Any form of envy, status anxiety, or deprivation that people may feel in poor, unequal countries is often overcome by hope. Economic inequality can create goals for those going through hard times. It's only human nature for a competition to motivate people. If you see others succeed, you want to succeed as well. Economic inequality should be seen as an indication of opportunity rather than a sign of discouragement.
To add on to our argument, economic inequality is not as large of an issue as you might initially think. This is because income equality is not a fundamental component of well-being. What we mean by this is that it's not important for everyone to have the same, although what is morally important is that everyone should have enough. If a person lives a healthy and pleasurable life, their income and property should not matter.
A common misconception that people may believe is that if people get richer, they steal from the poor. This confusion between inequality and poverty comes from a mindset that wealth is a finite resource that has to be divided up so that if some people get more, others get less. However, since the Industrial Revolution, wealth has expanded exponentially, resulting in an income increase for all classes of society. In a study conducted by the Review of Income Wealth, the results showed that, on a global scale, relative income inequality has been declining steadily, from 0.74 in 1975 to 0.63 in 2010, measured by the Gini coefficient.
Similarly, people have not been proven to dislike inequality. Most people seem to be happy with inequality as long as they believe it is merit-based. As long as people believe that the rich earn their wealth fairly, people don't get upset. So if people are content with economic inequality, then why is there still a negative connotation towards it?
Overall, economic inequality is often miscategorized with poverty, injustice, and unfairness, when in fact, economic inequality can be advantageous to our society. What matters most is that everyone is supplied with enough to have sustainable lives and hope. While other forms of inequality are issues that are in dire need of solutions, there should not be a negative connotation towards economic inequality. Thank you.